This video is the second and final part of ABG interpretation series. If you have not watched part 1, I recommend watch it first so that you can get a clear understanding of the topic. ABG interpretation is often confusing and difficult to understand. I hope after watching these two videos you will have a good grasp of the subject. About myself, I am Dr. Vida, working in Salford, United Kingdom. I regularly upload educational videos. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to get useful tips about various medical topics and especially about PLAB exams. Coming to our topic of ABG analysis, there are 5 key components which we need to look for when analyzing arterial blood gas result. Number is blood pH. Number 2 is PaO2 or partial pressure of oxygen. Third one is PaCO2 or partial pressure of carbon dioxide in plasma. Then bicarbonates, and the fifth one is base excess. Normal blood pH is 7.35 to 7.45 and it is determined by the concentration of hydrogen ions. If blood pH is less than 7.35, blood is acidic, and if the pH is more than 7.45, blood is alkaline. Coming to our main topic of today's video is acid balance. There are two main components of acid-base balance. One is respiratory component and the other one is metabolic component. PaCO2 or partial pressure of carbon dioxide in plasma is the respiratory component of acid-base balance. Normal PaCO2 is 5.3 kPa and the range is from 4.7 to 6. And this respiratory component or PaCO2 has a reverse link with the pH. So when partial pressure of carbon dioxide increases in the plasma, pH goes down, and this is called respiratory acidosis. And when carbon dioxide concentration decreases in the blood, then blood pH goes up, and this is called respiratory alkalosis. Coming to metabolic component of acid-base balance, this is bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is a base. Its normal concentration in the plasma is from 22 to 26 millimole per liter. Metabolic component is linked with the pH in a way that it moves the pH in the same direction, which means that when bicarbonate concentration falls, pH also falls, and this is called metabolic acidosis. And when bicarbonate concentration increases, pH also increases, and this is called metabolic alkalosis. Now, coming to the analysis of ABG result and how to determine acid-base balance, there is a 6-step approach. First and the most important part is that we need to check how is the patient and what is patient's past medical history. Step 2 is assess PaO2 or oxygenation of the patient. Third step is determine the pH, whether it is acidic or alkaline. Fourth step is determine the respiratory component or PaCO2. Fifth step is determine the metabolic component, which includes bicarbonate and base excess. And step 6 is to determine whether it is uncompensated acid-base derangement, partially compensated or fully compensated. Now we will discuss how to recognize an acid-base imbalance, whether it is uncompensated, partially or fully compensated. For this purpose, first we need to understand compensatory mechanism of acid-base balance. As I discussed earlier, there is a metabolic component and there is a respiratory component. So what happens that when there is metabolic acidosis, it is compensated for with respiratory alkalosis and vice versa. And if there is metabolic alkalosis, it will be compensated for with respiratory acidosis and vice versa. So it is a two-way process. And acid-base balance can be partially compensated or fully compensated. As a result of this compensation, you may see some apparently normal values when you analyze ABG results amongst some deranged ones, and it becomes quite confusing whether it is partially compensated or fully compensated. And a clear understanding is essential to make a correct conclusion. So, first of all, we check the pH. If blood pH is 7.4, it is absolutely normal. And if it is between 7.35 to 7.45, then it is within normal range. However, if it is within normal range, we need to check its tendency. For example, if blood pH is between 7.35 to 7.4, it means that there is a tendency towards the acidic side of the spectrum. And although it is within normal range, it may be indicative of a compensation by alkalosis mechanism. On the other hand, if blood pH is 7.4 to 7.45, although again it is within normal range, but it means a tendency towards the alkalosis side of the spectrum, and it may indicate a compensation by acidosis mechanism. This is very important to understand. Finally, if pH is within normal range, we have to check other parameters of acid-base balance, which include bicarbonate and carbon dioxide, and decide whether these are normal or deranged. After all of the above mentioned observations, you will be able to decide whether it is an uncompensated or partially compensated or fully compensated metabolic derangement. Now let's try to understand it more closely. So first of all, we discussed uncompensated respiratory acidosis. In this slide, you can see that blood pH is below normal value, below 7.35, and partial pressure of carbon dioxide is increased more than 6. So this is respiratory acidosis. And you can see the value of bicarbonate is normal. So this is uncompensated respiratory acidosis because compensatory mechanism value is normal. It has not compensated for acidosis. Now we come to see how it is compensated and whether it is partially or fully compensated. In this slide, you can see that again pH is below normal, PaCO2 is raised. So this is respiratory acidosis. However, you can see that bicarbonate concentration is increased. So it means that it has compensated for acidosis, because when bicarbonate increase, they also increase the blood pH, take it towards alkaline side. So this slide shows that bicarbonates have increased. Now this is compensated, but how we will know that if this is partially or fully compensated? So pH is still below normal, so it is partially compensated. This compensation has not yet brought the pH to normal, so this is partially compensated. And now analyzing fully compensated respiratory acidosis. In this slide, you can see that now pH has become normal, but it is towards the acidic side of the spectrum between 7.35 to 7.4, and PaCO2 is raised. So this shows that this was respiratory acidosis, and bicarbonate have compensated and have brought the pH back to normal but towards the acidic side of the spectrum. So raised PaCO2 with a normal pH with a tendency towards acidic side of the spectrum and raised bicarbonate, these show that fully compensated respiratory acidosis. In fully compensated respiratory acidosis, pH comes back to normal but towards acidic side of the spectrum. Now let's move to respiratory alkalosis. When pH is increased but partial pressure of carbon dioxide is below normal, this is called respiratory alkalosis. And in this slide, this shows uncompensated respiratory alkalosis because bicarbonate level is normal. So it has not moved up or down to compensate for respiratory alkalosis. Now coming to partially compensated respiratory alkalosis. In partially compensated respiratory alkalosis, we see that pH is increased and partial pressure of carbon dioxide is decreased. So this is respiratory alkalosis. However, bicarbonate level has gone down. So it has compensated for this respiratory alkalosis. However, it has not yet brought pH to the normal. It has not restored pH to the normal level. So it is not fully compensated, it is partially compensated. Now coming to fully compensated respiratory alkalosis. In this slide, you can see that now pH has returned to normal, but still it is towards the alkalosis side of the spectrum, that is between 7.41 to 7.45. So if pH is normal but between 7.41 to 7.45, PaCO2 is below normal range and bicarbonate concentration has gone down, then this is fully compensated respiratory alkalosis. I hope you are following my point. Now we discuss metabolic acidosis. When pH is below normal and bicarbonate level is below normal, then this is called metabolic acidosis. And PaCO2 is always normal if it is uncompensated. Respiratory component is within normal range, so it has not moved up or down to compensate for metabolic acidosis. Now we see partially compensated metabolic acidosis. So pH is below normal, bicarbonate is below normal, and partial pressure of carbon dioxide is also below normal. However, pH is not yet returned to within normal range. So this is partially compensated. When pH is down, bicarbonate is below normal, PaCO2 is below normal, then this is partially compensated metabolic acidosis. And in next slide, we can see fully compensated metabolic acidosis. In this, pH has become to normal. However, it is towards the acidosis side of the spectrum, that is between 7.35 to 7.4. So you will find these values in fully compensated metabolic acidosis. Bicarbonate are below normal. pH is normal but between 7.35 to 7.4, and PaCO2 is also below normal. This shows fully compensated metabolic acidosis. Up till now, you understand that if pH is within normal range, we have to look whether its tendency is towards acidic side of spectrum or alkaline side of spectrum, and then we have to see metabolic and respiratory components, whether they are normal or deranged. In this slide, you can see an uncompensated metabolic alkalosis. You can see that pH is above normal, bicarbonates are above normal. So this is metabolic alkalosis. And respiratory component which is PaCO2, it is still normal and it has not moved up or down to compensate. In this slide, you can see partially compensated metabolic alkalosis, and you can see that although pH has not returned to normal, but respiratory component has started to compensate for this metabolic alkalosis. So partial pressure of carbon dioxide is going up, but still unable to bring the pH to normal. So this is partially compensated. And in this slide, you can see fully compensated metabolic alkalosis. In this case, pH has become normal, but its tendency is towards the alkalosis side of spectrum, between 7.4 to 7.45. So this is fully compensated metabolic alkalosis. When PaCO2 has raised to compensate for metabolic alkalosis and pH is within normal range but towards the alkalosis side of the spectrum. I hope that you find this presentation useful, although it is still difficult to understand, and I recommend that you watch this video 2-3 times. So this is the end of ABG interpretation video series. If you found it helpful, like and share, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Bye and see you soon. Thank you very much.